Most people think buying property abroad is just about a vacation home, but in some countries, that same purchase can literally unlock a second passport. And here's where people come up short. They chase the cheapest deal or the flashiest location without realizing which countries actually give them a real pathway to citizenship. And by the way, if you're new here, I'm Mark, and I help people plan relocations and buy and sell property in the U.S. and all around the world, and I've personally helped over 500 families successfully relocate and buy homes with confidence. So the real question is, if you're going to invest anyway, why not just choose a place that gives you a second life option too? So I'm going to walk you through 5 countries where real estate can either get you citizenship directly or put you on a clear pathway towards it. And I'll give you some real price ranges so you can actually picture what this looks like, plus why they make sense from a buying point of view. So let's start with one of the most straightforward options that there is, and that's Turkey. Now, this is one of the few places where you can still get direct citizenship through real estate, and typical thresholds sit around 400,000. Now, beyond the passport, Turkey is one of the most underrated property markets globally. You have a wide selection of new developments. You have strong rental demand in major cities, and in many areas, you're still buying below what similar lifestyle cities would cost in Europe. Plus, the transaction process is relatively fast, and foreign buyers are very active, so the system is already built for us as a buyer. Now, lifestyle-wise, you get that mix of modern and historic. Istanbul gives you energy, while Antalya gives you coastal, relaxed life. When it comes to prices, a decent 2-bedroom apartment can sit somewhere starting around $250,000, depending on the area. Newer buildings or better neighborhoods are going to push you up $250,000 to $450,000 range. And then prime luxury properties go for $500,000 and up. So from a buying perspective, Turkey gives you affordability, strong demand, and clear resale market if you ever want to exit. Now, what if your idea of life looks more like beaches, sunshine, and a place you actually enjoy the outdoor lifestyle? Well, that's going to lead you to Antigua and Barbuda. Now, this is a Caribbean option where real estate can qualify you for citizenship, typically starting with an investment of around $300,000 in approved properties. And from a buyer perspective, this is interesting because many of these properties are part of a resort-style development. Now, that means the property management is often handled for you, and in some cases, rental programs are built in. Now, that could be a plus or a minus depending on your tolerance for resort-style properties that might have a high resident turnover. So you're not just buying a home, you're also buying something that can generate some income without you being fully involved. Now, price-wise, entry-level program properties usually fall in the $300,000 to $450,000 range. And if you want better views or more usable space, you're looking closer to the $500,000 to $900,000 price point. Now, a beachfront villa can easily go from $1 to $3 million and beyond, so this works really well if you want a lifestyle asset that can also function as a managed investment. Now, if you want a lower entry point with a simpler setup, that would be Dominica. Now, this is a nature-first island and one of the more affordable citizenship options. Now, from a property angle, most approved investments are in the eco-resorts or the boutique developments, which means maintenance and operations are often handled for you. And it's less about flipping and more about long-term holding with minimal hassle. The starting investment is usually around $200,000, and entry-level properties sit between $250,000 and $350,000. More private or higher quality homes are going to range from $400,000 up to about $700,000, and the premium auctions can go from $800,000 to $1.5 million and beyond. So if you want lower entry costs and a hands-off ownership experience, Dominica fits that really well. Now, let's take a little trip and shift into Europe. Greece. This is not instant citizenship, but it is residency first. But from a buying perspective, Greece is very attractive right now. You have strong tourism, rising demand in cities like Athens, and a growing short-term rental market in the right locations. And compared to Western Europe, entry prices are relatively still accessible. Now, in Athens, a solid two-bedroom apartment can range between $200,000 and $450,000, depending on the neighborhood. More central or renovated properties usually land between $450,000 and $800,000. And island homes or luxury properties can go past $1 million. So here you're not just buying a lifestyle, you're also buying into a market with rental potential and long-term upside. And then finally, we find ourselves in Panama. Now, this is one all about practicality. It uses the U.S. dollar, which removes currency risk, and the buying process is relatively straightforward. There's also tax incentives in some cases, especially for new construction. Now, from a property perspective, you get modern buildings, high-rise condos, and well-planned communities. Now, the pricing-wise, a good two-bedroom condo typically is going to be between $180,000 and $350,000, and better buildings and locations can push that between $350,000 and $650,000. And if you want ocean view luxury properties, well, they're going to be in the $700,000 to $2 million range and up. So if you want something that's stable, easy to manage, and familiar with how real estate works, Panama is a very comfortable choice. So here's the simple way to look at all of this. If you want direct citizenship through property, you're mainly looking at Turkey, Antigua and Barbuda, and Dominica. And if you're okay with residency first and citizenship later, then Greece and Panama are strong options. And here's the real takeaway. It's not just about buying property, it's about buying options. Options for you where you live and how you travel and how you design your future. So if you had to just pick one of these countries, which one would you consider? Drop it in the comments. And if you want more breakdowns like this that actually help you make a smart relocation decision, make sure you stick around and subscribe.